everybody, welcome back to Book Hooks. My name is Curren. I'm the director at the wonderful Azle Memorial Library in Azle, Texas. And today I'm going to change things up a bit. I'm going to answer a question that I get asked very often, and that is, where do libraries get their books? Well, majority of libraries have some form of a budget. It could come from the city or the county or whatever their governing board is. We're a city library run by the city of Azle, and that budget breaks down to, salaries, building items, and the book budget is part of it. And so what we then do is we divide it up by category, so children's, teen, adult, nonfiction, fiction, things like that. And we know exactly how much we can spend in each category per year, and then we place orders on a monthly basis, dividing that out throughout the months. And what we do to actually select books is we read professional reviews quite frequently. We get magazines such as Kirkus Reviews. Library Journal is a big one that librarians read. There's also School Library Journal for school librarians and children's librarians, and Book List. Plus there's also Publishers Weekly and other reviews that even you could find out in the real world. New York Times does a lot of magazines, and newspapers will do things. And from there, it kind of gives us a guide of what's coming out, what's going to be really good, what might not work well for a library, what would be in high demand. Plus, we also take note of bad reviews. So maybe there's a book that's gotten some hype, but all the reviewers say it's just terrible. Well, maybe we should skip that one. The other thing we do is we look at what other libraries are doing. So we read librarian blogs, and we find out what publishers are saying about some of their upcoming releases. And then we ask the most important people is you, the patrons, the readers. We want to know what you want. So we have a way for you to submit requests, and then we can look through those requests. We'll check on the reviews, and we'll say, yeah, why don't we have this? We need to get it. Or maybe it's an older item that's out of print and we can't get it, but maybe we can help you find a library that does have it. So through all those things, we then select our items and we purchase them. And we don't just go to Barnes & Noble or Amazon. We have special vendors that sell specifically to bookstores and libraries at discounted rates, fortunately. And those books arrive, and we do our, what I like to call library magic with it. But when you go to a library, the books have all those covers and the stickers and labels. We call them spine labels with the call number. Sometimes they'll have a barcode on the back. So we have to do all of those things. We also have to input the book into our computer. So when you look into the catalog online, you can find the book, whether it's by title or author or subject. And then we put them out on the shelf. Some of the questions I get asked very frequently, though, are, well, what about donations? Because, don't you just get your books donated? Well, we do buy a vast majority of the books that we put out on the shelf. We are getting new books every day because there's always new books being published. But we do accept donations. A lot of the donations we receive, though, and this is true for I think most libraries, are typically older books, and there's nothing wrong with older books at all. But sometimes if there's a newer edition, or maybe they're in bad condition, maybe they're not the best for our library collection, but they'd be great in a book sale. So we can sell those and then use those proceeds to go back to buy new books. But we certainly do look through the donations and add things to our collection, whether it be a second copy of something that's really popular, or just something that we don't have that, just looked wonderful. The other thing we have to consider when we put things in the collection is it in good condition? So we want to get the best quality possible. They need to be newer books that are clean, and usually hardcovers work better, because if you think about it, if I read a book, I'm going to take good care of it. But if 20 other people are going to borrow that book, by the time it comes back to me, it may have some wear and tear. So all libraries have to deal with that, and so we want books that really hold up well. We also want to make sure the cover art and everything else looks really good, so we can offer the best possible books for everybody. And then last but not least, we're always studying what we have in the collection. So for example, we want to know, is a certain author, are their books getting checked out a lot? We call it circulation, meaning how many times it's checked out in the past month, year, or since we put it into the collection. And so the books that do really, really well, we know we want to buy more of those authors and subject matters. But maybe we tried a new author and nobody was checking it out, and they come out with a new book that doesn't have great reviews. It's probably going to tell us that we don't need to get those other books. But all in all, if you ever have a request for your library of books to purchase, librarians love to hear suggestions because after all, libraries are here to serve you, the reader. So please feel free to come and give us suggestions anytime, and we hope you enjoy the books that we purchase. And I hope this gives you a little bit of insight into how we get books for the library. Thanks.